everyone, welcome back to my channel, Annette's Journey, starring Annette. That's me. It's your favorite real estate professional, back at it again with another video. This time I'm going to be doing a book review on one of my favorite books of all time. It's definitely in my top 10 favorite books list, okay? If you never heard of this book before, you better go to your local bookstore, Barnes & Nobles, or if you don't like to read and you like to listen, download it as an audiobook. I highly recommend. It's a 10 out of 10, okay? But before we get into this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will very much appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss it. I will be posting every single Saturday, okay? Now let's get into the video. Okay, so before you go buy the book though, make sure you watch this video all the way through, okay? So you can have a better understanding of what this book is mostly about before you go buy it, right? Or download it, however you want to get it, right? Now, Think and Grow Rich, right? By Napoleon Hill, and it's the 21st century edition, right? Is mostly about 13 common habits of wealthy and successful people. So Hill, he examines the psychological power of thought and brain in the process of furthering your career for both monetary and personal satisfaction, right? Basically, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can achieve, right? And the overall message or main idea is it is what you think that matters, right? So when we're having negative thoughts or positive thoughts, those thoughts can consume us, right? But when we're able to control our mind, right, and have a growth mindset versus a limited mindset, then we will forever achieve greatness, right? We will forever achieve success or achieve whatever it is that we want, whether material or not material, right? And so I think it's very, very important that you're able to control your mind and control your thoughts and emotions, because you can become a better person. You know, you can become a leader by doing that. Many of the most wealthy and successful people in this world, especially if they're leaders, right, in this world, they are able to control their minds and their thoughts to better achieve or get what they want, you know. I'm going to read a quote really fast before I get into it. So this quote is on chapter 1, right? Okay, 1. And basically it says, truly, thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. When mixed with purpose, persistence, and a burning desire for their translation into riches or other material objects, right? So your thoughts are powerful. What you think, what you consume in your brain on a daily basis is very, very powerful. Because of course, you know, when you think about people getting into accidents and having to relearn things all over again, right? Relearning how to walk, right? Your brain is telling you to do that, right? Your thoughts are telling you to walk, do this, right? You're allowing yourself to control your mind in a way that you can tell yourself what to do, right? What to eat, what to think. And the more and more you control your mind to do that, the more and more it becomes easy to cancel out any negative thoughts or emotions you may feel, right? Now, I'm mainly going to be focused on 2 chapters, chapter 8 and chapter 9. There are the 8th and 9th steps into achieving riches or wealth or success, whatever you want to call it, right? And basically, chapter 8 is titled Decision Making. And a good example of being a decision maker, right, they used was Henry Ford. Now, if you don't know, Henry Ford, right, is the man who made the Ford Motor Company. And before he even came up with the successful company, right, he had a thought, right? And his thought was he wanted to create the Model T engine, right? And when he told this to the engineers that he worked with to create the engine, right, they told him, no, I don't think we can do this. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to work. But he is so strong, right? One of his like very outstanding habits of himself is that he's able to make decisions right then and there, right? And he's able to make them quick and either not change them at all or slowly change them, right? He's able to decide on spot what it is that he wants, right? So he comes up with a thought And his thought plus the burning desire, right? His desire to achieve this thought and the action that he takes upon it is what equaled his success and his riches, right? So no matter the opinions of others, no matter what they may thought of his thought or idea, he continued to do it. That was his decision that he made, and he stood by it. He firmly stood by it. And that's what makes him so wealthy and successful, and the reason why we know him today. Okay. The next chapter I'm going to be doing is chapter 9, and it is titled persistence, right? And persistence, the person that they used in the chapter, they used a couple people, but the person I'm going to focus on is Howard Schultz, and he is the Starbucks man. But before I get into him, I just really want to go over a couple steps, 8 steps that I think is very important to be persistent, right? And so that you can achieve what it is exactly that you want out of life, right? So the first one is a definiteness of purpose, right? So you have to know exactly what you want out of life. You have to know exactly what your purpose is in life. The reason why God put you on this earth. Because if you're just roaming around this earth and you have no true purpose of what it is that you want to do and achieve, then what is life, Next, I want to say is you have to have desire, right? You have to have burning desire and to be passionate about what it is you want. Because in the end, you're going to have to make sacrifices to get what you want, right? And how can you know what you want to do out of life but not passionate about it? How are you in a career field or dealing with a certain person, right? And not have an obsession or burning desire or be very passionate about what it is, whether you may be an entrepreneur, a business owner, an artist, a real estate agent, an investor, whatever it is. Successful people have burning desires. This is a thought that comes about, right? Plus the burning desire for it, along with the action taken upon it to equal what it is that they want, whether it's success, happiness, riches, joy, whatever, right? Next, you have to have self-reliance, right? You have to have belief in your ability to have a plan, to come up with a plan, and then follow through with that plan, right? Then you have to have a definiteness of plan. So you have to be able to have an organized plan, right? A step-by-step actions, right? Of what you're going to do to achieve that plan. Because a plan without steps and without actions taken upon it is a no plan at all, right? And it would never be successful. We can sit here and be like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but then don't take actions upon it, right? And the most successful people and wealthy people are people that come up with a plan, have detailed step-by-step a detailed step-by-step of the actions that they're going to take upon it, right? Then we have accurate knowledge, right? You have to have an accurate knowledge of what it is that you're passionate about, right? You have to be 100% understanding of what it is that you do. Like I do real estate, right? So I have to have 100% accurate knowledge of what I do, about the market, about houses, about comps and things like that, so I can better teach people, right? I can better teach my clients about what is going on in the market. I can better help them understand what might be best for them and what might not be best for them, right? It's better to know something than have to guess it, right? Then you have cooperation, right? You have to have people behind you. I know we always like to say, oh, we can do everything ourselves, but no, that's not true. People who own businesses, they have business partners. You know why? Because sometimes, we may wake up with less motivation and inspiration we did the day before, right? And it happens. It happens. Sometimes it may happen to me, but when you have a person behind you, whether it's one or more people, when you have a mastermind group, which is another chapter that if you want to learn more about, you're going to have to read this book, okay? But you have to have a mastermind of people who understand you and sympathize with you and understand your plan. Therefore, they're going to back you up because they believe in your plan as much as you do, right? In order to help you continue to show persistence, right? And able to keep persisting, right? Because sometimes we can't just do it all ourselves. We need that supporting force behind us. I know I have a whole supporting team force behind me. So every day when I wake up and if it's one day I don't feel motivated or inspired, I can call that person up in my team, let them know how I'm feeling, and they're going to tell me what it is that I need to hear, right? to motivate me, to inspire me, to keep going, keep pushing forward. And I want to be able to have this YouTube channel to also inspire and motivate other people as well, whether they're a man or woman, whether they're young women in my age group, you know, women that come from the same background as I do, women that look just like me, right? You know, I want to be able to inspire and motivate you, okay? And then next we have willpower. So you have to be strong-minded, right? And you have to have this willpower to do exactly what you said you're going to do, you know, because sometimes we do fail in the things that we want to do. You know, some people fail in real estate, some people fail in business, right? A lot of business owners, they fail in their first 1 or 2 years of them starting that business. But that's okay, because the successful ones, what they do is when they fail, they keep getting back up, right? No matter how many times they may fail, whether it's once, twice, or 3 times they fail, they fall and they get back up. They don't fall and just lay there, right? Or just keep falling and falling, right? They fall and get back up because they have a growth mindset, right? And just like Hill said in his book, quitters never win and winners never quit, period, right? So you have to be strong. You have to have that willpower to keep going, to make sure that you can achieve your goals and get what it is that you want out of life, right? And then last, we have habits. You have to form habits, you know, in order to, you know, in order to achieve your purpose in life, right? You have to have a daily routines, right? You have to have, it can be daily, weekly, monthly, right? But you have to have some type of habits, good habits, right? Not bad habits, of course. Good habits that can contribute to your daily routine or your weekly routine or your monthly routine, so that you can hold yourself accountable, right? To know that you are doing what you said you was going to do, right? You're sticking to that thought, that idea that you have, because you have that burning desire and you're taking the actions upon what it is that you want to achieve, you know, so you can get it, right? And that's just basically the overall story of, the overall summary of this book. Okay, you guys, so I'm so sorry. This is going to be a clip that is added into the video. I was so passionate and focused on letting you guys know about how to maintain persistence, right? How to have a definite goal, plan, and purpose, that I completely forgot to talk about Howard Schultz, the Starbucks man. How can I do that, right? So I hope you guys forgive me. Oh my gosh. That's what happens when you're so passionate about something. You just keep going on and on and on and on, right? So basically, Howard Schultz, also known as the Starbucks man, before Starbucks was such a big household name, he was actually on a business trip in Italy, right? He's into the retail sales marketing industry. So he was on a business trip to Italy, and while on his business trip, he was observing and studying based off experience, right? What he was experiencing in that moment, the social life of Italians over there, right? He studied how coffee was such a big thing, right? How they're able to wake up and have a nice rich cup of coffee, go hang out with friends and have a cup of coffee, you know, go to a restaurant to have coffee, or like a coffee shop, like, you know. So coffee is very, very big in Italy, right? And as he's observing this, the thoughts, right? Remember when I talked about thought plus burning desire and action equals riches, success, wealth, happiness, whatever it is. His thought was like, hey, like, this is such a good idea. I want to bring this to America, right? I want to transfer this over to the States. And I know that, you know, coffee is going to be such a big thing, which I feel like he knew that it would be a big thing, but he didn't know yet exactly how big it would be. But he knew, because that was the thought that he had. And of course, you know, he was so passionate about it that even when he came to the States, right, you know, he spoke with the moment, the original Starbucks owners. He spoke with them and was letting them know, like, you know, hey, this is my idea. I want to open up some Starbucks stores and I want to sell coffee, especially because, you know, Starbucks coffee is a high quality coffee, I guess you can say, right? And it was something that he was so passionate about, but the opinions of them, right, they was like, no, I don't think that's going to work. We're not really into that. You know, we're just focused on small stores, right? And he's like, you know what? Forget you guys. I'm going to go start my own company and I'm going to get it done. I'm going to have that burning desire and the action to take upon that to achieve what I wanted to achieve, you know. And even years when he first started, the first 2 years when he first started the business, you know, he lost millions of dollars, right? And he failed and he failed, but then he continued to get back up and succeed, right? So after a while of him failing all the time, he finally succeeded, and Starbucks became a household name, and it was all over the States. It started over in the West first, I believe, and then it made its way to the East Coast. And that's just another example to show you how he didn't allow the other people's opinions to tell him about a decision he wanted to make, just like Henry Ford did, right? And he was persistent with achieving that goal because he knew it was going to work out. And of course it did, because you know how many people drink Starbucks today, right? I love Starbucks, I'm not gonna lie. And he continued to show persistence, and he made that dream possible. He made that goal possible. He had a definite purpose in life. He knew exactly what it was that he wanted to achieve, and he made sure that he had an organized plan on how it was going to happen, and he took those steps and he made it happen. So he's one of my favorite people, along as Henry Ford, that shows how to be, you know, a great business owner, how to be a great leader, how to have persistence and decision-making habits or qualities, right? Like I said, I definitely highly recommend this book, so make sure you go get it. These chapters that I just spoke about, I love them because I feel like it's so relatable to my everyday life. I use decision-making and persistence in every single thing I do, whether it's personal or whether it's career related, right? You know, even with my YouTube, you know, that's something I do on a daily, to make these decisions about videos that I want to put out there, right? And to be persistent and consistent with giving you guys this great content, because I want to be able to motivate someone. You know, I hope after this video, I motivate you, I inspire you to go figure out what your purpose is. You know, I'm 24 years old, and it took me a long time to figure out what it is that I want out of life. But now, at 24 years old in 2022, Annette knows what she wants out of life. I know my purpose in life. I have my plan, and I have my actions and steps I'm going to take to achieve the goals that I want out of life, right? You know, and I know a lot of us that are young might not have it all together, but it's okay. The good thing about us is that we have time at our age, right? But I'm telling you now, if you have no purpose in life, if you have no idea what it is that you want to do or achieve out of life, then life will never be fulfilling. You will never be happy. You will never be successful, you know? So figure out your plan, you know, do some self-reflecting, understand what it is that, you know, what it is that you want out of life. You know, do some self-discovery versus self-development, you know? Oh, that's for another book that I'm going to talk about, Kill Your True Enemy Now, by my cousin Harry McRae. I'm going to leave his book in the description box below, so make sure you go check it out. But that's a wonderful book to add on to what I'm saying about this book. You know, kill your true enemy now, which most likely is yourself. Your true enemy is yourself, right? You have to discover yourself first, to then develop those characteristics of the person that you want to be, right? To develop those characteristics of the person you want to be, and also develop the life that you want to live. We are all worthy of creating a beautiful life, okay? So just continue to trust in the process, you know, continue to believe in yourself, trust in yourself, right? And, you know, thank you, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Continue to have a lovely weekend. Peace, love, and blessings to everyone out there. You know, believe in yourself, trust in the process, you know, be present, because life is about the journey, not the destination. Okay, so bye, you guys.